Imagine questioning your own reality, where the truth feels distorted and every conversation leaves you doubting yourself. This isn't just in your head, it's a tactic known as gaslighting. But what if I told you that Stoicism offers powerful tools to see through this manipulation and stay grounded in your truth? Today, we will break down gaslighting tactics and how you can apply Stoic principles to protect your mind and stay resilient. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to support this journey of self-mastery and mental resilience. Let's continue to build this community focused on clarity, strength, and wisdom. Number 1. Understanding gaslighting as a manipulation tactic. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where the manipulator makes you question your reality, memory, or perceptions. It's a tactic often used by individuals seeking control, leaving the victim disoriented and dependent. In essence, gaslighters warp the truth, pushing you to question what's real. From a Stoic perspective, Marcus Aurelius often advised recognizing what is within our control and what is not. Gaslighting works because it attacks our perception, a core aspect of what Stoicism teaches us to manage. If we can't discern what is within our control, we become easy targets for manipulators. Recognizing gaslighting as an external force is the first step to guarding yourself against it. For example, a partner constantly tells you that your concerns are all in your head, making you doubt whether your emotions are valid. In this case, Stoicism teaches you to trust your reasoned judgment, understanding that while emotions are natural, allowing others to manipulate them is where the problem lies. By understanding gaslighting as a tactic of control, you empower yourself to stand firm in your perception, a key Stoic principle in achieving mental clarity. Number 2, the classic denial of reality. One of the most common gaslighting tactics is denying facts or events that clearly happened. Gaslighters will pretend certain things didn't occur, or they'll shift their stance to make you question your memory. It's a subtle but powerful way of destabilizing your sense of reality. In Stoicism, we are taught to distinguish between impressions and reality. Epictetus reminds us that it's not the events that disturb us, but the view we take of them. Gaslighters thrive on distorting your view of reality. By practicing Stoic mindfulness, you can separate your impression of events from the manipulative narrative being imposed on you. For instance, a boss might claim that they never gave you a certain instruction when you clearly remember receiving it. Rather than falling into doubt, Stoicism encourages you to trust your grounded perception and remain calm in the face of manipulation. Using this principle, you can remind yourself that your grasp of reality is based on reason and observation, not the whims of others trying to distort it. Number 3, trivializing your feelings. Gaslighters frequently minimize or dismiss your emotions, suggesting that you're overreacting or being too sensitive. This tactic not only makes you feel insignificant, but also conditions you to suppress your emotions out of fear of invalidation. Stoicism doesn't demand that you suppress your emotions. Instead, it teaches you to master them. Seneca taught that emotions are natural, but letting them control us leads to irrationality. A Stoic response to this gaslighting tactic is to acknowledge your feelings, but not let them be dictated by the gaslighter's dismissive attitude. For example, if someone close to you repeatedly tells you you're too emotional, Stoicism offers you the strength to internally validate your emotions while externally maintaining your composure. You learn to discern the difference between their dismissal and your inner truth. By practicing this, you regain control over your emotional responses and prevent the manipulator from using your feelings as a tool against you. Number 4, blame shifting. A gaslighter will often shift the blame onto you, even for things that are clearly their responsibility. This is done to make you feel guilty or incompetent, forcing you into a defensive position where they remain in control. In Stoicism, blame is a reflection of an untrained mind. Epictetus teaches us to take responsibility for what we control and release ourselves from responsibility for what we cannot. When faced with blame shifting, A Stoic mindset allows you to evaluate the situation objectively, assessing whether the blame is warranted or merely a manipulation tactic. Imagine being blamed by a colleague for a failed project, even though it was their lack of effort that caused the issue. Instead of accepting this undue guilt, a Stoic response would involve calmly reflecting on your role, understanding the truth, and letting go of responsibility for things outside your control. By refusing to internalize unjust blame, you protect your integrity and self-worth. Number 5. Using confusion as control. Gaslighters often use confusion to throw you off balance, purposefully giving contradictory information or changing stories to keep you uncertain. The more confused you become, the more they can assert their version of reality as the truth. One of Stoicism's greatest teachings is clarity of mind. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, we must strip away the unnecessary. By focusing on what truly matters and training your mind to stay clear amidst chaos, you build resilience against confusion tactics. Gaslighters use confusion as a weapon, but a Stoic mind treats confusion as a test of clarity. For example, when someone continually changes their story about a past event, leaving you uncertain about the truth, Stoicism advises you to stick to the facts as you know them. You don't need to follow their winding narrative. Instead, simplify the situation in your mind and stay grounded. Through this mental discipline, you maintain control over your thoughts, even when faced with intentional manipulation. Number 6. Isolation as a gaslighting strategy. Gaslighters often seek to isolate you from friends and family, subtly suggesting that those around you don't have your best interests at heart. The goal is to make you more reliant on the gaslighter for validation and support, further trapping you in their manipulative cycle. Stoicism teaches the importance of a supportive community, as we are social beings by nature. Marcus Aurelius consistently reminded himself to work with others for the common good, but gaslighters seek to turn this on its head, isolating you from the very support you need. Consider a partner who says, your friends don't really care about you, in an effort to distance you from them. Stoicism encourages you to critically evaluate such statements rather than taking them at face value, ensuring you stay connected with those who provide genuine support. Recognizing this tactic and holding on to your community can prevent gaslighters from succeeding in cutting you off from sources of strength. Number 7. Making you doubt your judgment. Another common gaslighting tactic is making you question your decision-making abilities. Gaslighters will say things like, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're bad at making decisions, planting seeds of doubt. In Stoicism, self-trust is vital. You must develop the ability to trust your reasoned judgment and act by it. Epictetus stressed that wisdom lies in knowing what you can know and acting on it. A gaslighter intends to weaken your trust in yourself, but Stoicism helps you reclaim it. If someone constantly questions your choices or makes you feel incompetent, the Stoic response is to reaffirm your confidence in your reasoning. Practice trusting your judgment and acknowledging that even mistakes are learning opportunities, not proof of incompetence. In this way, you prevent gaslighters from undermining your ability to make sound decisions. Number 8. Rewriting history. Gaslighters often rewrite past events, either denying they happened or changing key details to paint themselves in a better light. This tactic is designed to make you doubt your memory and their role in past conflicts. As Stoics, we learn to see the past as something we cannot change, but also something we shouldn't let others distort. Seneca reminds us that a wise person learns from the past, not to manipulate it, but to grow from it. Gaslighters twist the past to serve their narrative, but you can combat this by sticking to the truth. For example, a gaslighter might claim they never said something hurtful, even though you remember it clearly. Stoicism teaches you to stand firm in your recollection of events and not get drawn into their version of history. By doing so, you maintain your integrity and resist attempts to rewrite reality. Number 9. Pretending to forget. Gaslighters may pretend to forget conversations or agreements in order to make you feel unreliable. They might say, "I don't remember you saying that," or "I never agreed to this," to make you doubt your memory. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of memory and reflection. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his experiences to gain wisdom. When dealing with a gaslighter who pretends to forget, a Stoic response is to rely on your recollection and not let their feigned ignorance shake your confidence. For example, if a friend claims they never agreed to a favor you distinctly remember discussing, stay grounded in your memory without becoming defensive. Trust your recollection and don't let their tactic cloud your perception. By practicing this, you can see through their manipulation and remain steadfast in your truth. Number 10. Disguising manipulation as concern. A gaslighter may disguise their manipulation as concern, saying things like, "I'm only saying this because I care about you," or "You need to trust me on this." This tactic makes it harder to recognize their manipulation, as it comes wrapped in the guise of care. Stoicism encourages us to discern between genuine care and manipulation. Epictetus reminds us that true concern comes from a place of virtue, not control. A Stoic response to this tactic is to carefully assess the intention behind their words. If someone insists you follow their lead out of concern, but their actions consistently undermine your independence, Stoicism teaches you to evaluate whether their concern is truly rooted in your well-being or their need for control. By separating genuine care from manipulation, you preserve your autonomy and see through the false concern. Conclusion: gaslighting is a powerful manipulation tactic, but with the wisdom of Stoicism, you can remain grounded in your reality and resilient against these tactics. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca offer invaluable tools for identifying and responding to gaslighting behaviors. Remember, control your perception, trust your reason, and never allow someone to distort your truth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help others navigate the complexities of manipulation with the strength of Stoic philosophy.